continues over the plan for two potential newcomer welcoming centers. The centers are tent-like structures that act as temporary living spaces for asylum seekers. The first is set to go up near the Nepean Sportsplex. That's where a rally against the plan took place Sunday. Natalia Goodwin has the story.
Many in the crowd were opposed to the structure being built on a football field used by community teams. The city says staff are now looking at other land to avoid that. But still, others don't want to see a center anywhere in their community, and they're angry they weren't consulted.
The whole thing was surprising us. It's like no one knows. Like, this is a huge decision for the community, and no one knows.
Oh, there's a difference between helping people in need versus introducing some newcomers who have yet to be vetted.
But all newcomers to Canada, including the asylum seekers who will be housed at the structures, are screened upon entering the country. And it's misinformation like that this Sunday rally in support of welcoming newcomers was trying to debunk.
These people are already here. They want to work. They want to rebuild their lives, as we've all done as newcomers. And they have a chance to do it in Ottawa, and our job is to make sure that they get the help that they need.
Right now, hundreds of refugees and asylum seekers are living at makeshift shelters at community centers in the city. The mayor says those centers need to be returned to the communities, and this new plan is a better solution, and he hopes people get on board.
This is a complete solution. It's not just centered in two areas of the city. There are resources all over the city. These welcome centers will house people for a short period of time as they arrive in the city and access services and go on to temporary and eventually permanent residence. So there's a lot to this plan, and I think once people understand the plan, they'll feel more comfortable.
And people will get a chance to voice their concerns. The city says consultations will begin in the coming weeks and run into the new year. Natalia Goodwin, CBC News, Ottawa.
And coming up a little later in the show, we'll take a closer look at the city's plans and what the facilities are expected to include and what support resources will be in place. That story right after our first commercial break. Gatineau police had to intervene at a junior hockey league game. Welcome back. As we've been reporting, an area near the Nepean Sportsplex could soon be home to a new welcoming center for refugees and asylum seekers. But the safe place to land has created a lot of controversy. Here's Elise Skura with what we know and what we don't know about the multi-million-dollar plan.
Ottawa, like cities across Canada, has seen an unprecedented rise in migrants. The surge has been overwhelming, leaving refugees and asylum seekers sleeping on mats, bleachers, folding chairs, and on arena floors. As of November, 600 were in shelters, another 300 in community centers and arenas. The city wants neighborhoods to be part of the solution, but right now they are not signing off. No tents. Our neighborhood, our choice. Simple slogans that advocates say are an oversimplification. Let's dig into the 5 biggest questions people have about these structures. First off, will they sleep in tents? Right now, the city wants to build this kind of structure in Nepean and possibly another in Canada, with aluminum supports and a fabric roof. So it may sound like a tent, but the city says it's far more than that. At 30,000 square feet, or about half the size of a football field, there will be running water, bathrooms, showers, and pods with 4 walls and a locking door. They'll get help to file paperwork, find a job, and look for a permanent home.
Anyone who tells you that people are going to be sleeping in tents, that is wrong. The people tell you that they are going to be abandoned with no services. It's the exact opposite. It is the first time in Ottawa that people will have a landing pad.
Will these be permanent? When or if the steady stream of asylum seekers and refugees slows down, these could be moved or repurposed. Maybe they'll get new life as a library or a pickleball court. The city says, though, that really has to do with how many migrants the feds allow in. Okay, so who pays for this? Staff say that's really up to the Government of Canada. The city has been negotiating for federal funding, and it says it will not start building until it has millions of dollars. The city, though, says it will provide land and pay to make sure there's water and a sewage connection. But will it be safe? The federal funding would also cover 24/7 security, but staff don't anticipate any issues. They say that's because there haven't been any at the temporary shelters at community centers and arenas.
We've actually connected where we work very closely with the Ottawa Police and Housing Homelessness Services. We have not seen or heard any community issues related to these centers being in either neighborhood.
They have jobs, they're cleaning houses, or they're babysitting, or they work in daycares, or they're doing construction. So they just, like you and me, leave in the day and come back at 5 p.m.
Finally, why these locations? Yes, why does it have to be here? Staff say that experts chose the site based on careful analysis. They looked at things like infrastructure, but also access to transit and grocery stores. That doesn't mean neighbors won't have any say. Staff say there will be public information sessions, and when these design plans come up at City Hall, anyone can speak. Those meetings should happen within the next few weeks because Ottawa plans to have one of these up and running by next winter. Elise Skura, CBC News, Ottawa.
The CBC's Robin Miller has also been taking a closer look at these structures. They are already used around the world to house vulnerable populations. Here's a look at a story she will bring us later this week.
We're in close contact with a number of municipalities who have built these both in Canada and the United States,
including Toronto, and we get inside. So how many people are in here today?
So this very moment we have upwards of 90 people. Yeah, I mean, it's all our home, right? It's a home, and that's kind of what we try to create.
That story coming soon on CBC News, Ottawa.